Satya! Don't go in there! अरे कोई तो बचाओ! अरे देखो क्या कर रहा है! ये साधु! वापस आ जाओ! क्या कर रहे हो? साधु! Yes!
We are so many sannyasis and 1,000,000 or 2 sadhus wandering about and teaching the people metaphysics. It is all madness. Our Gurudeva used to say, an empty stomach is no good for religion. Poor people are leading a life of brutes due to ignorance. Hey Gurudeva. Suppose some disinterested sannyasis, bent on doing good to others, go from village to village, disseminating education and seeking various ways to better the condition of all, down to the Chandala, through oral teachings and by means of maps, cameras, globes and such accessories. Can't that bring forth good in time? If a mountain does not come to Muhammad, Muhammad must go to the mountain. We, as a nation, have lost our individuality. We have to give back to the nation its lost individuality and raise the masses. To effect these, first we need men. Haribai, I do not know what your religion is, but my heart has expanded. I do not take into consideration whether people accept his name or not, but I am ready to lay down my life to help his teachings, his life, and his message spread all over the world. The Parliament of Religion is being organized for this. My mind tells me so. You will see to verify at no distant date. I am the first monk to come over to these Western countries. It is the first time in the history of the world that a Hindu monk has crossed the ocean. It is the weak heart that has driven me out of India to seek some help for those I love. And here I am. The
$40.
expense I'm bound to run into here is awful. On an average, it costs me £1 a day. A cigar costs 8 annas of our money. All those rosy ideas before starting have melted. And I have now to fight against
We get you the entry
impossibilities.
ticket for the Columbia exhibition at a reasonable rate. The services also include a trip to Ferry Wheel, Ice Skate House, Eastern Marvel, Japanese Bamboo House. It's only $50 per day, sir. You are from Boston? Okay, sir. See you soon.
Excuse me,
Yes.
can I get a room?
No room.
Could you check?
Money.
Oh. A 100 times I had a mind to go out of the country and go back to India. But I am determined. And I have a call from the above. I see no way, but his eyes see. And I must stick to my guns, life or death.
What's this? This creature. God, this red. This red something on his head. Oh, one man was
If I am to live longer here,
Have a look at him.
my quaint dress will not do.
Never seen a creature like this.
People gather by hundreds in the streets to see me.
Look, look,
What I want
this man.
is to dress myself in a long black coat and keep a red robe and turban to wear when I lecture. All these must be borne. Hooting in the streets on account of my quaint dress. Starvation. Cold. These are what I have to fight against.
He's going to die. Yes, I think so.
But my dear boy, no great things were ever done without great labor. I may perish of cold or hunger in this land. I have traveled 12 years with this load in my heart and this idea in my mind. I have gone from door to door of the so-called rich and great. With a bleeding heart, I have traveled half the world to this strange land, seeking help. On the morning of the opening of the Parliament, we all assembled in a building called the Art Palace. There was a grand procession and we were all marshaled to the platform. Imagine, a hall below and a huge gallery above, packed with 6 or 7,000 men and women representing the best culture of the country. And on the platform, learned men of all the nations of the earth. And I, who never spoke in public in my life, to address this august assembly?
All men have a common creator and consequently a common...
It was opened in great form with music and ceremony and speeches. I was so nervous that I couldn't venture to speak in the morning. Of course, my heart was fluttering and my tongue nearly dried up. Chakravarti of Theosophy made a nice speech. Mazumdar of Brahmo Samaj, a nicer one. And they were much applauded. They were all prepared and came with ready-made speeches. I was a fool and had none. Dr. Burrows
Mr.
introduced
Swami
me.
Vivekananda from India will address the gathering.
I bowed down to Devi Saraswati and stepped up. Sisters and brothers of America, a deafening applause of 2 minutes followed. It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of the monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of all religions. And I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. My thanks also to some of the speakers on this platform, who, referring to the delegates from the Orient, have told you that these men from far-off nations may well claim the honor of bearing to different lands the idea of toleration. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. I will quote to you, my brethren, few lines from a hymn which I remember to have repeated from my earliest childhood, which is every day repeated by millions of human beings. As different streams, having their sources in different places, all mingle their water in the sea. So, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to Thee. I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecution with the sword or with the pen, and of all uncharitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal. And when it was finished, I sat down almost exhausted with emotion. All the newspapers announced that my speech was the hit of the day, and I became known to the whole of America. And the two, with what effect? I may quote to you from a few newspapers and magazines ready at hand. I need not be self-conceited, but to you in confidence I'm bound to say, because of your love, that no Hindu made such an impression in America. But eloquent as were many of the brief speeches, no one as well expressed the spirit of the parliament and its limitations as the Hindu monk. His culture, his eloquence, and his fascinating personality have given us a new idea of Hindu civilization. His fine, intelligent face and his deep musical voice, prepossessing one at once in his favor. He speaks without notes, presenting his facts and conclusions with the greatest art and the most convincing sincerity, raising often to rich, inspiring eloquence. Vivekananda is undoubtedly the greatest figure in the parliament of religions. After hearing him, we feel how foolish it is to send missionaries to this learned nation. Herald, the greatest newspaper here. Even the most bigoted ones admitted that this man, with his handsome face and magnetic presence, is undoubtedly the most prominent figure in the parliament, etc., etc. Now, after all these quotations, do you think that it was worthwhile to send a sannyasi to America? I am now out of want. Many of the handsomest houses in this city are open to me. I can, if I will, live here all my life in the greatest luxury. But I am a sannyasi. And India, with all thy faults, I love thee still. Oh, Mother. People here are sleeping on beds of flowers. And what do they not enjoy? While people in my country are dying of starvation. Mother, will there be no way for them? Shiva. I have to talk a lot about myself because I owe that to you. I was born in Bengal. My father and mother fasted for years and years so that I would be born. At my birth, my father had a horoscope taken of my life, but would never tell me what it was. I know that it was consciously that my mother brought me into the world to be what I am. The love which my mother gave me has made me what I am. And I owe a debt to her that I can never repay. Ma. How many times have I seen my mother going to take her first meal when it was 2 o'clock? And someone would come and knock on the door and say, and there would be no other food in the house except what was for my mother. She would give that to him willingly and wait for her own. This was her life, and she liked it. I have such a memory. When I was 2 years old, I used to play with my psyche as being a Vairagi. Clothed in ashes and kopina, when a sadhu came to beg, they used to lock me in upstairs to prevent my giving away too much. I felt I was also this. And for some mischief I had done, I had to be sent away from Shiva. No wonder my family increased my feeling. And when I was naughty, they would say, Shiva, Shiva, So many austerities, and yet Shiva sent me this demon instead of a good soul. And then when I was rebellious, they would empty a can of water over me saying Shiva, Shiva. And then I would be all right. Always. Always. Even now, when I feel mischievous, that word keeps me straight. Shiva, Shiva.
ताथैया नाचे भोला बम बब बाजे गाला ताथैया नाचे भोला
Shiva, Shiva. It is a matter of astonishment that this happened every night for a long time. As soon as I went to bed, two ideals appeared before me, since I had reached my youth. One vision presented me as a man of endless wealth and prosperity, innumerable servants and dependents, high rank and dignity, great pomp and power. I certainly felt that I had the power to achieve this. The next moment, I felt as if I had given up everything of the world and was leading a life of a renunciate. Putting on a loincloth, eating whatever was available without any effort, sleeping under the trees, and solely depending on God's will. These two pictures, according to which I could mold my life, arose in my mind. But the latter would grip my mind in the end. Some years ago, when I visited my home, my father having died, I came across a chart among some papers in my mother's possession and saw from it that I was destined to become a wanderer on the face of the earth. I studied hard for 12 years and became a graduate of Calcutta University. At the beginning of this 19th century, it was feared that religion was at an end. Under the tremendous sledgehammer blows of scientific research, old superstitions were crumbling away like masses of porcelain. Those to whom religion meant only a bundle of creeds and meaningless ceremonial were in despair. This skepticism reached me. And for a time, I felt as if I must give up all hopes of religion. In the city of Calcutta, I wandered from place to place in search of religion. And everywhere I asked the lecturer, after hearing a very big lecture, "Sir, have you seen God?" The man was taken aback at the idea of seeing God. And the only man who said, "I have," was Shri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa.
ঈশ্বর দর্শন করেছেন?
হ্যাঁ, আমি ঈশ্বর দর্শন করেছি, ঠিক যেমন
And
তোমাদের
not only
দেখছি,
so, but he said,
তবে এর চেয়েও
"I will put
আরো
you
ঘনিষ্ঠ
in the way of
রূপে।
seeing him too." This man came to live near Calcutta, the capital of India, the most important university town in our country, which was sending out skeptics and agnostics by the hundreds every year. This old man was peculiar. He didn't go much after intellectual scholarship, scarcely studied books. But when he was a boy, he was seized with this tremendous idea of getting truth direct. He first started by studying his own religion. And then he got the idea that he must get the truth of other religions. And with that idea, he joined all the sects, one after another. He would eat and dress like the people he wanted to understand, take their initiation, and use their language. One must learn, he said, to put oneself in another man's soul. And this was his home. No one ever before in India had become Christian and Mohammedan and a Vaishnava by turn. And when he had gone through with all that, he came to the conclusion that they were all good. They're all in so many ways leading to the same goal. Long before the idea of universal religion and brotherly feelings between sects were discussed and mooted in any country in the world, here had been a living man whose whole life was a parliament of religion. Many of these university men, skeptics, agnostics, used to come and listen to him. I went to hear him. Yes, it was the temple garden at Dakshineshwar, in his own room. He looked like an ordinary man, with nothing remarkable about him.
মন চলো নিজ নিকেতনে, মন চলো নিজ নিকেতনে, সংসার বিদেশে বিদেশীর বেশে, ভ্রম কেন অকারণে, মন চলো নিজ নিকেতনে। বিষয় পঞ্চক আর ভূতগণ, বিষয় পঞ্চক আর ভূতগণ, সব তোর পর কেউ নয় আপন, পর প্রেমে কেন হয়ে অচেতন, ভুলিছে আপন।
He went into samadhi.
জানে মন চলো নিজ নিকেতনে। আ আ
Well, I sang the song, but shortly after, he suddenly rose and taking me by hand, led me to the northern veranda.